Hi Capricorn, Happy New Year! This is your January 2015 horoscope with me, Lada from Astrolada.com, where you can find out your birth chart calculator and you can see the exact ascendant, the sign of the ascendant, the degree, also the moon sign if you'd like, and check the ascendant sign. I definitely recommend you that you check the ascendant sign because it's a more personal prediction. It's a prediction based. The ascendant sign is the physical body and what tangible things happen on your path in life. So definitely it tends to be very correct. And also you can find out a number of worldwide renowned astrologers and psychics that I've personally scouted and I personally followed for years their work before I invited them over because of the reputation they have, the hundreds and thousands of clients that they have that are satisfied with their work. I've invited them over, so I guarantee for the quality of their work. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to come to my website, astrolada.com, and communicate or order a horoscope with any of them, or for that matter, me, if you'd like. Anyway, what does Capricorn's January hold for you? And this is your month, of course. The sun is in your sign, is in the sign of Capricorn. And whatever the sun is, it revitalizes us again. And your sign is your physical body, or it's you. The sign of Capricorn, this is you. Whether it's your moon, sun, or ascendant, these represent different parts of yourself. Whether it's the physical body, or your emotional body, or your personality, there are different sides. Individuality is still parts of you. So the sun will energize you. The sun tells you it's time for you to come out and shine. This is the time of the year when Capricorns start feeling again, when they make their New Year's resolutions. All other signs, they should make their New Year's resolutions when they have their birthday or when the sun is in their sign. Capricorns can do it on the first day of the new year because they'll be much more likely to keep up with the New Year's resolution if it happens when you're having, when the sun is in your sign, because the sun helps renew you and give you willpower, determination, and constancy, just like the sun is constant. So do make your New Year's resolutions for January. You're more likely to stick with them and to start new beginnings. It's a fantastic time for you, Capricorns, to do new beginnings in your life and to plan your year ahead for the next 12 months always, because the actions and the things that you will do now in the first 20 days of January will determine, in a sense, the actions you put into, you set in motion right now will be impacting you for 12 months afterwards. And the actions that you do will be with long-lasting influences. And you might not have again such an opportunity to put such actions in motion again very soon into the year, or even not even in the year. So definitely be proactive and initiative now. If you have ideas, write them down, start thinking about them. And around the beginning, the first week of January, Pluto joins the sun in your sign in Capricorn around the 4th, 5th, 6th. So Capricorns might feel a little bit more intense energy because Pluto and the sun, when they join together, there might be some power struggles with authority figures, or this is on the negative level. But on the positive level, Pluto gives much stronger willpower in regards to projects. The sun is projects and goals that we have. So all of a sudden you might feel empowered, like a Superman, to go for some project, to do something. So if you have to do it, then if you have to do something that requires a lot of willpower, a lot of your courage, do it around that, the first week of January. Okay, what is happening as well? Mercury goes retrograde in your second house of finances, and this can happen very rarely. Sometimes it might be years, 7, 8, 9, 10 years before Mercury will be again retrograde in your second house of finances. So it's a very important month, January and February as well, Capricorn, for your finances and for the future of your finances. When a person has retrograde planet Mercury in the second house, it means Mercury starts moving backwards and then comes back again. First moves forwards in that your second house of money, then backwards, then forwards again. So you have a chance for about 2 months to revise some financial matters, your budget. You might have extra expenses that come that you have to, or expenses that come for you from the past, or something that, you know, that will force you to restructure how you manage your finances, how you manage your money in some way. But on the positive level, this is when you can start putting the steps towards improving your finances as well. For example, when my partner had Mercury retrograde in his second house, let me give you an example so you know what happens. This is when we had a lot of expenses and you know, things that came from the past, bills that we haven't paid, they came, we had to deal with them, you know, because retrograde means something from the past comes back, or something we haven't done properly comes and hits us back. So we had to compensate for these things financially, but this was, and he found out he's not getting a promotion, so he said, that's it, I need to find a job that pays better. So exactly at that time, he set into motion interviews, and he got a job that pays twice as much. So often this is a really opportune time for a person to set into motion activities which will improve their finances for many years ahead. And so I advise you, whether it's a new financial plan, or whether it's a new budget, or whether it's somewhere else that you invest your money, or whether it's a new job that pays off better, or new investment, you know, this is the right time to start making it, even though at moments, especially when Mercury is moving retrograde, you might feel like it's requiring too much effort, it's requiring too much attention to detail. Things might slow down around that time, but when a planet moves retrograde, it just becomes much stronger and requires much more hard work, and it brings the matter a few times over for you to pass it, so there are no mistakes left. And when Mercury is moving already forwards, by the end of February, the beginning of March, you will be starting to see the results. And there will be long-lasting results, even through to for a few years ahead, that in some way would have impacted your finances and helped you, hopefully, if you're using these energies properly and you are not wasting them, not paying attention to the call. But usually, you know, it's somehow that the planets push us in this direction. Whether we want it or not, we have to deal with such matter. And by the time we solve them, somehow our resources, our finances and possessions are in much better order, and there is maybe you arrange some business or something that will help you consolidate your finances into the future. And you might start seeing the results maybe even from the summer or next year, but now you might lay the foundations, you know. So don't be impatient, and for a little bit in January and February you'll feel frustrated with those matters, again, as I said, but the final results of a retrograde planet, especially, you know, Mercury in the second house, if you've put efforts, can be much longer lasting and productive and positive. But this is especially true if your ascendant is in Capricorn. Less so if your sun or moons are in Capricorn, but still, you know, you feel that as well. Okay, so what else? Venus is also in your second house, so it can help this process of looking into those financial and matters, and a bit more pleasant, a bit more enjoyable. Second house, Venus, when it transits there, we can even receive some present financially, or a little bit improve our finances. For example, every time I have Venus transit my second house, which is not the whole month, usually it's when it transits exactly the cusp of the second house, so for about, you know, a week approximately, but definitely in January it's happening for you, especially if your ascendant is in Capricorn. Then I always have an increase in orders, so my finances always improve somehow. And if you're on a constant salary, you might receive a present from someone, or you might, you know, buy something beautiful that you very much enjoy. Second house is possessions. I always go, and I feel inspired to go buy clothes when Venus is in my second house, from the sun or from the ascendant, and I always buy the best things, because Venus is beauty, making a good choice. Second house is the things we possess, clothes, you know, objects, furniture, or whatever. And so we tend to have a better taste about that time. Okay, but definitely some matters of financial importance will come to be revised, to be restructured, and hopefully improved. Mars is moving into your third house for about 2.5 months. sorry, for about a month and a half. This happens every 2.5 years that Mars goes into your third house, and it's Mars loves to be in the third house because third house is initiative, self-initiative, and Mars is the planet of courage. So you become more courageous, starting from the middle of January till almost the end of February. You'll probably need this courage, but more courageous to do things that you didn't have the guts to do before. Third house rules difficult things. Everything that is difficult, like the skills we have to learn, these are difficult. Learning to play the piano, learning to play sport, learning to talk a different language, learning to use a new software, learning to use the internet, learning to write, to learning a new skill at work. You need to be courageous to tackle such a thing. You need to have energy for it. You need to have willpower. Mars is all those things: willpower, courage, so initiative. So definitely when Mars goes into your third house, if you've been postponing some difficult things and new skills to learn or to do, now is the time that you will have the courage and the perseverance, more like, yes, because Mars is like a soldier. You feel like a soldier more, it gives you more of this soldierly discipline to follow through with, doing something difficult, whether it's taking a courageous step forward to do something. Maybe you've studied for many years, but you don't feel confident. Can you start your own business? Is your skills enough? Is your knowledge enough? And now Mars goes into a third house and encourages you and gives you the courage to, okay, instead of just wondering whether I can do it, I can try and experiment, because third house also rules experimenting. So I experiment now, try, practice, and I'll see how it goes. So you get this kind of courage. And it also can bring some travel as well, because Mars is a very active planet. Mars is to do. So you might, if you want to organize some trip, take the initiative now, organize it within the second part of January, and big part of February is the good time for it. Just be careful for competition, because you become more competitive. Mars in the third house is a competitive influence. So any kind of jobs which require you to be more competitive, definitely it comes naturally to you, and you might have more competition at the same time, but this competition just incites you to be better, to try and to work harder as well, so this is why Mars likes to be in the third house. It triggers it in the right way. It's not easy. Whatever Mars transit, it requires more effort, more fight, but we don't always have the fight in us to go for it. And when Mars is there, it gives us the fight to be more competitive, to do the hard things, to learn new things. Okay, Capricorn, what else? I think this is, you don't have Saturn transits, you don't have Jupiter transits. Basically, the influence is focused around, the important things are focused around, your finances, sorting them out for the next couple of months, and for, this initiative that you're taking in with Mars as well, and also setting up the priorities for the next year for yourself, initiating new things with the Sun being in your sign. So yes, this is what I see for you, Capricorns. I hope you enjoyed this prediction, and make sure you check your ascendant sign or moon sign. If this doesn't resonate with you, then probably you're much more strongly feeling the prediction of your ascendant or the prediction of your moon, because these give extra dimensions. And keep in mind that this is just general readings. It's never what like a real astrology reading will be like, but we're using the same principles. Thank you.